The final thing that we need to do in this lab is to plot our forecasts, our confidence intervals, and the actual historical data together. And that'll give us the best sense we can visually about whether we've done a good job forecasting or whether our forecasting model is not going to be useful. Remember, we have a hint that it's not going to be useful because of the abysmal multiple R-squared and the fact that none of our regressors turned out to be statistically significant, but it's really instructive to see that on a graph anyway. So I want to graph the historical data first, and actually we already did that. So I'm going to grab this graph and bring it to the bottom, which I can do by simply doing a Control X to cut and navigate to somewhere I can see it better and do a Control V, and it reappears just the way you would want it to. So this is the old data with the old dates. I want to put on top of this same graph the forecasts and the confidence intervals. So if I click inside the chart and do Select Data, Add, I'm going to call this Forecast Values, and the X values are going to be dates because we want to plot the dates of the forecast, and the Y values are going to be the forecasts themselves. And you can see them here as a little preview. These tiny orange dots are our forecasted returns for 7 days. Okay, now let's add the lower confidence interval. Lower 95% confidence interval. X values are also going to be these dates. Y values are going to be these lower confidence interval values. And you can see this little gray dot. That's your lower 95% confidence interval. Let's go ahead and add the upper 95% confidence interval. X values again are the dates. Y values are here. And let's click OK and OK again. And we see the additions to our chart here. Now I'm going to add a legend so we can more easily identify what we've got. So in gray is the lower confidence interval, in yellow is the upper. I want to make all of them orange so it's a little more easy to see. If I click on it and then right click, I get this Format Data Series, and by clicking this I get a bunch of formatting options including color. I want to make it orange to match. It's not orange enough. This orange, I think, matches our forecast value color. And with this menu open, we can just click over here and do the same thing for the lower confidence interval. Oh, and since it's hard to see, we can make the line width thicker so the color will pop a little more. Okay. Now, here we can get a real assessment of how good our forecast value is. Our point forecasts for the percent changes for the next 7 days are effectively 0, but we routinely get percent changes in 1, 2 to 3, 4% range in the lean hogs market. And our confidence intervals are really wide, encompassing most of the range of the data. What we would prefer if we were forecasting and wanting to trade with our forecasting model is that the point estimate, for example, would be much above the unconditional mean, and then the 95% confidence interval not including 0. So draw something here, draw something there, point estimate in the middle. Then we would have a model that was pretty confident that the returns for tomorrow were going to be positive and large, and then maybe we would have something that we could trade with and say, okay, I'm going to buy today because my forecast is confident that it will be higher tomorrow. This forecast model, you can make no such conclusion with it. It's basically completely agnostic about what tomorrow's price will be. Okay, so that really completes the requirements for the assignment. I hope that this gives you a sense of how hard it is to actually forecast, especially if you're trying to forecast prices to make money in the markets. And just as a kind of a little tidbit. This is basically what my forecasts have looked like for any of the even a little bit more complicated forecasting model for prices. So it's hard to use past information to forecast future returns. See you guys later.